All right, so now seeing it is officially out.
Gentlemen.
Let the leader speak.
Everybody's doing shtick down at the other end of the table.
Who's the leader here, though?
Because again, an election happened and I was made president, so I don't even know how that happened.
Wait, there was an election?
So, yeah, it happened. But
He's the one that voted.
But anyway, hi everybody. Welcome into this panel that where everything is made up and the points really don't matter.
I mean, if I could just interrupt you, you should have began that with welcome.
We open every one of these panels within our town.
Oh God.
See, I shouldn't have said that while you had internet access. That was a bad move.
When does he not have internet access?
So, welcome into Glimmer Gang Unleashed. we have been a cult since 2020 before the COVID-19 pandemic happened.
That was us, sorry.
We apologize.
Taylor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's Princess Starlight Glimmer.
Agreed. Hey, nice scarf.
Not gonna lie, who actually thought that was gonna happen one way or another?
We'll get into that.
We got a whole hour to
Who do you
discuss.
think Opaline really is?
All right, we're not here to talk about Opaline, are we?
Or are we? But anyway, welcome into Glimmer Gang Unleashed. My name is Taylor. You all know that. I am.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
This just became an AA meeting.
How long have you been addicted to Starlight?
I've been addicted to Starlight for too long, and I'm still seeking counseling. That's not working still.
But you know who your counselor is? Starlight Glimmer.
Exactly.
That'll cure you.
So, before we get started, why don't we go around introducing ourselves, my wonderful associates up here that are going to help you convert into a Starlight Glimmer fan. Let's start with the gentleman on the left that nearly got himself tackled at a certain con in Dallas, Texas, and I'm not going to let him live it down.
No one does. Essential upstairs was yelling at me just now as I was getting changed into this about it. Hi, I'm one half of Rift Ponies. I also run the TrotCon. Well, I'm one half of the TrotCon Twitter. The other half is somewhere around on this table as well. It's my better half, I would say.
Anyway, come to TrotCon.
Anyway, come to TrotCon. There's Glimmer there, but I promise you.
We don't even know when it is.
Soon. It's soon. That's what it is.
Soon.
So, God. Yeah, if you want me to, I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yes, I love Starlight Glimmer so much, I took my pants off to reveal these lovely pants. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. That little bit of sex appeal today. I disrobed at opening ceremonies of HarmonyCon 2020 for that. Unfortunately, didn't have tearaway pants. It was regular jeans. It went from one quick motion to 3 slow motions, and I was told later that I was about 2 seconds away from being full body tackled off that main stage. So, if you want to learn anything from that experience, invest in tearaway pants. That's the moral of that story. Anyway, I like Starlight Glimmer.
Maybe you should have talked to security about that beforehand.
You think?
But then I can't tell them about how great I look in Starlight pants. They just have to figure out for themselves.
So what's better? Like your love for Starlight Glimmer or your health?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't ask my girlfriend where she ranks against Starlight Glimmer. That's a loaded discussion.
That's a little discussion for another day.
Yeah, well, or later in the panel. We'll figure that out.
Exactly.
Next.
Oh, you did it already, I guess. Hi, I'm Cole Donnerstag.
Hi, Cole.
I run Studio Cinemagic where I make a bunch of PMVs, and I need to make a Starlight one. It's gonna happen.
You've had 2 years, Cole.
You're required now, by law. You're on the panel.
By Glimmer law, you have
By Glimmer law.
Let's just say, I have the song picked out already. There you go.
Ooh.
One thing I will say, I'm finally to have you purchase all of this Starlight merch at this con that I've been seeing everywhere. Like, hanging out. Yeah. And you should all get it too. Yeah, Starlight is best pony. There's no other option.
Yep.
And if anyone disagrees with you, they're wrong.
They are wrong.
Exactly.
It's okay to be wrong, but you're wrong.
Yep, 1 through 5, all Starlight Glimmer. No other ponies. You know
And
that?
I am
1 through
proud to be
25.
wrong. So basically, you say anything before season 5 just does not exist.
You are putting words in my mouth, sir.
It was all build up, is what it
It was all
No
built.
build
All
up.
build up.
No, yeah.
Who was at the end of that table?
Hi,
Other you.
I'm Lock Rock.
Hi, Lock Rock.
I'm the programming director for Ciderfest this year. This panel can happen because I said so. I also run the PR, half the PR account for TrackCon, the PR account for HarmonyCon, the PR account for Ponyfest Online, and the programming director for Winnie City, and I am the concert manager for TrackCon, HarmonyCon, and BabsCon, and also I'm on Ever Free staff. I like Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't understand the question.
Sit in the one week.
Sleep is for the weak.
Next question.
Technically, I do have a solution for that, and I carry it around at all times.
There you go.
This is a family-friendly panel.
my buddy tried that once and almost crashed his
I'm
car.
not gonna get
Energy drinks.
Energy. And water.
and one.
Yeah.
And a message on your phone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I really like Starlight Glimmer so much that I wrote a song about her. Really?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/LoveRockMusic.
Oh, you're doing our social plugs here.
Hit that subscribe icon, smash that bell icon, hit subscribe because the YouTube algorithm's broken.
And they're not fixing it anytime soon.
Oh, no, they're not.
Unfortunately.
Don't forget to like that
video.
Alright, so I first began this panel a few months ago at Everfree Northwest, which was a very rousing success. I could sense Thoth's presence in the room even though he wasn't there, but
I'm wanting you now.
but now I'm figuring a great way to begin the Glimmer Gang Unleashed panel is by our national anthem.
Oh, God.
Is that the Menards song?
The Menards suck. They don't have Menards other than in the Midwest.
Uh-oh.
We have her here. Oh, are we? Oh, okay.
Are we standing for this?
Oh, no, okay.
Cold saluting.
Just say a bunch of really, really bad out of context photo ops are about to happen.
Yeah. Hey, Luck, you're supposed to salute with your right hand, not your left hand.
Over my heart, though.
No.
Where is my heart? One's all for Starlight Glimmer.
It's 2 sizes too small for some nice and
I gotta put more glimmer on me, more heart. There you go. What are we doing? Mom, I really hope you're proud of me.
This scene scared me when I watched it live.
Yeah, I'm like, this is. Yeah, I first saw this and I was like, what is going on here?
Propaganda, indoctrination.
Yeah.
Communism works.
Look at Pinky's face. She's done.
We're not here to talk about other characters, okay?
Pinky is McCarthy.
That's me right there.
Yes, right.
Oh my God.
What are we doing?
I don't know, but I love it.
This is.
Don't scare Fluttershy. Don't do that.
She's unscarable.
Actually, I disagree. You just make you feel really bad when you do.
Yay!
All right.
Shut up, Rainbow Dash. Anyway, welcome to our cult. First order of business.
We have jackets.
Do
We
jackets.
do.
So, my wonderful associates and I, so, when did we first start liking this particular pony in particular? I will start at the end and we will go all the way to the end, which there is no end because there's so much of that, because there is no end to the Glimmer Gang.
It all started the day I was born.
Before
Gosh.
she even exists.
Right, exactly. I just knew it. I had a feeling.
What is the initiation
When they introduced her into the show, into season 5, I actually wrote an entire college essay about that first episode of season 5. Got a B+ on it.
Yay!
Hey, Fox, what was the title of that essay?
It was. Luck, I think Luck. I don't know if Luck knows it or not. I think he might. It was entitled "Cutie Marxism." It was about cultural Marxism in the media that we consume, because I was a film student. That didn't get me anywhere in life. Let me give you a first hit on that. But wrote about it, wrote 18 pages about how Starlight's introduction to the show
What?
really just realigned how the show functioned, and how she really introduced an element that was entirely against everything that not even just Friendship is Magic represented, but what My Little Pony as a franchise represented, where it's like, no, it's not about individuality, it's not about uniqueness, it's about sameness and the collective, I guess. And that was interesting to me, that was in a children's show. I was also a brony in mid-2010s, so everything about my life had to have pony injected into it, so, you know how it goes. If you were there, you were there. But, yeah, it was an 18-page essay on that. I got a B+. And then once season 6 came around, it became very clear that, oh, Starlight's gonna be a main character at this point, or at least reoccurring. I was concerned, as a lot of people were, some people a lot more vocal about it than others. I was concerned it would throw the entire dynamic of the show off, but then it ended up being that she was really relatable and didn't take a lot of the ponies, a lot of the main 6's weird, odd behavior, and she was just really She was what Applejack, how some people write Applejack to be in fan fiction, where Pinkie Pie or someone will come to her with a problem, and then Starlight will go, oh, well, that's dumb. And I'm like, that's great. And then just so many elements about her was like, she was essentially not the new Twilight, because everyone and their mother.
You can't replace Twilight.
No.
Yes, says the man with the Twilight Sparkle shirt on.
I feel called out.
You were. No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Thank you.
But not a problem. But yeah, she became the new, I guess, the audience relation, where she was the one that was applying all of this, and she was the one that had all these very apparent flaws, even while the main 6 was going out completing their story arcs. Meanwhile, you had this character that was just learning friendship again and learning how to exist again in this world that they were in, and having her own frankness and bluntness about it too, which I really appreciated. So that's where she went from, I'm not sure about this being a permanent character, to, oh, that's me, I love it. So that's where I started with Starlight Glimmer, I think. And that's what led me to taking my pants off in front of I think I have a problem.
Well thought. Let's just say that's going to be your legacy going forward in this fandom.
Cool.
Is the cool guy that ripped off his pants and nearly got tackled by security.
Cool.
So
I'm glad my legacy is part of a cringe compilation. Not really, but.
I'll face the thought, we're all cringe here at this point.
We've been cringe for the past 12 years.
What does even mean anymore?
But hey, we're still going and we're still here. So it was a very late fall day in September of 2016. It was around mid 50 degrees that day.
Call me Ishmael.
What time was it?
It was the best of times and was the worst.
No. What time of day was it?
It was right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was still finishing up my college essay, and I got bored to a point of why am I even existing at this point? So I sat down with a friend of mine who told me all about this show called My Little Pony. I'm sure you all heard of that somewhere.
No.
No, I've never heard it before. What is My Little Pony? What is that?
Pull up the theme song.
And then my friend told me, hey, listen, you should give this show a try. Which I then replied, are you out of your mind? And he said,
Shame!
Shame.
So he said, listen, just give this a few episodes, you will like it. So I said, okay. After a few drinks that night, I was still trying to figure out what I was even doing at the time. But then I said, yeah, of course, because I can't control my alcohol these days. But anyway, I went home and DVR'd a couple of episodes the next morning on the Discovery Family from that era. It was just starting out. And then I watched like the first episode, which was Buckball season, and I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. I feel like this is not a kid's show. I'm concerned. So then I was like, okay, then I'll watch the opening few episodes from the first season. I was like, this does not feel like a damn kid's show. This feels like something that is going to be towards me, finally. And then I was rolling around to season 5 of My Little Pony, and in comes this character. Now, of course, one thing about Starlight that everybody didn't like about her in the beginning was her villain phase. But as time went on, she all of a sudden became very relatable in a lot of the issues she was going through because Tidbeth, hi, welcome to the outcaster from high school here that had no life and that friends didn't want to even be around him or was having trouble making friends. And what Starlight I look at with this character is, wow, these characters in the show are relatable to a lot of us here. You could sit there and be like, oh, this pony did something I did in real life, and it's relatable. Starlight relates to me a lot because I had difficulties making friends when I was in high school and then throughout all my years in school. It was a very difficult time for me, and I could relate to her a lot because of everything I had gone through. I just lost my grandparents because of cancer and that they were sick for a long time, and being in this fandom and being a part of the community is kind of what I really needed. Like, if it wasn't for meeting a lot of people, my associates up here and mostly everybody in this room here, I wouldn't know where I would be right now. I would thank this character in particular, but mostly I thank every single character from the show for getting me out of the gutter, because I don't know where I would be right now without this fandom and Starlight, because this character keeps me going every single day. Because there's a poster in my bedroom that says, that's her face looking straight at me. It's not a cringy face, but it's more like the, hey, you can do this. If I can get through my issues, you can get through yours too. And that's my inspiration of getting up in the morning, is this character. And that's how I came to be. But I can tell you all what I had on that September 2016 day and what was going on, but that's for a different day. So that's my side of how I got into how I became relatable to this character. So I'm going to move on to my next associate down here.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, when Starlight reformed, I was concerned and I was like, that felt quick. Oh, really? And then of course there was a break in between seasons, so it's not like we just got to get what she would be like right away, so we had to wait until season 6 to see what happened. And in the beginning, of season 6, I was like, okay. Well, I will say, with this episode, I think Starlight was the best part of the season 6 premiere. So that's a good sign. But season 6 premiere is,
It was okay.
It was okay. The episode that made me fall in love with Starlight completely was A Heartwarming Tale. Because that episode, it clicked for me why that character existed, why Starlight existed.
I think that's where she started to become likable for me too, actually.
Well, it's because that episode represents her journey to that point, and it made me realize that Starlight is the representation of what the show is about. And it's this idea that friendship can change your life for the better. And I think through this fandom and the people I've met, that is very true. Look at that guy over there. Everyone clap for Winberg! And like I see Starlight and Trixie's relationship as me and Winberg all the time. And that's like the most realistic friendship in the entire show to me, is the Starlight and Trixie relationship. Anytime they're on screen, it's perfection. And anytime she's on screen, double perfection. No lies detected.
None whatsoever.
When did I start liking Starlight Glimmer?
Mm-hmm.
On a beautiful Saturday morning
When did I start?
at the beginning of May 2018. The cutie map called upon Starlight and Sunburst to go solve a problem they didn't know existed in their hometown. And that was when we got to learn a little bit more about the upbringing of a young Miss Glimmer. And we learn of her father and how he coddles her and how he doesn't really see her as on the same level, but rather like talks down to her and won't take her seriously.
Am I the only one who was disappointed that we never got to see any of her punk rock phase?
I mean, why didn't we get any of that punk rock phase? I wanted
I
something.
love the fan art.
First off, that was not punk rock. I feel like I can talk on this. That was very much, that was death metal. Punks don't typically wear like clogs that big or have like giant axes.
Okay, fair.
That could have been like some Norwegian type metal. Like that was real stuff.
No issue, man.
Real church.
And as we watch her and Sunburst avoid their parents and do everything they can not to have to interact with them, it occurred to me, Starlight Glimmer has daddy issues.
Of course.
Well, that was a 360 turnaround.
That was a sentence.
But, so we talked about how Starlight relates to us and how we got ourselves involved in this mess here. But I pulled up some of my favorite moments from her time during Friendship is Magic, and I brought this up during Everfree Northwest. Luckrock will appreciate this one, and Cole and Thoth here, who begged me to put this on the agenda, because we actually did talk about this at HarmonyCon earlier this year, and I figured why not, since... So we're gonna get...
Oh, we get to watch a murder.
Oh no.
If you ask me, this was like my third out of 3 moments.
Sounds like somebody needs a little motivation.
Oh, the bugbear.
She's out of her mind.
We need a break. Friendship is about honesty, so believe me when I say we're not stopping.
If they would be like, if Gauss was there, equal to all their lives.
Oh my.
Discord, that's enough.
There she is.
There she is.
What's her name again? That's Twilight Sparkle.
Seafood dinner.
How dare you?
No, that's midnight dinner.
I think that's when I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, sure.
What's your problem? My problem? How is the fact that Twilight decided to put an incompetent, power-hungry unicorn in charge of her
What is
species?
Wow.
After that, I had no sympathy for him.
Oh no, he's dead.
He is fucking dead.
Where's Brony Dance Party when you need him?
He's fine. He's fine. You just see his body parts thrown all over the place. Like, he'll be fine.
So I want to contextualize what just happened there. Starlight just murdered a god in front of a bunch of children. And I kind of love it.
That's not even her final form.
It's
Oh no!
Oh, you want final form?
Don't worry, folks. Discord.
Uh-oh. Oh no, I know what's coming. Oh no. Oh God.
Man, I wake up and I look in my hallway, see that in the middle of the night.
Fear me.
We go. The man has evolved.
He will kick the monster.
This is grade A level nightmare fuel.
Why doesn't it blink?
Starlight is always watching.
I'm always watching you.
How are you able to oh my God. How are you able to see?
For power.
Yeah, how can you can't.
You can't see,
I'm
can you?
looking at all of you right now. I can see
Everything. So play nice.
You know, officially, this is my final form, and I nailed that in Free Northwest, and now I become the new WoW Glimmer of the con circuit. So
Wow. We need to bring that back, everybody. Bring back WoW Glimmer.
I'll bring it back to one piece.
So
Are you just gonna remain like that for the rest of the panel?
No, because I'll take this off eventually. Because Thoth mentions final form, so
That's luck.
he
You mixing us up now?
so you say that's your final form. Are you sure about that?
Oh boy, don't.
It's looking like she needs some.
Right, go and kill the camel.
Luck, did you want to say something? before
Yeah,
you-
I gotta get going because I gotta go run the sound check because there's a concert tonight and I'm still running stuff.
Go to the concert.
Yeah, go to the concert. But before I go, I learned something yesterday that a friend of mine taught me through Starlight Glimmer that I promised I would share at this panel because if nothing else, we'll all learn a little something this weekend. But in psychology, there is a term for when like some kind of outside stimulus, like you see something or you hear something, like causes sort of a reaction in your brain that causes like a lot of negative emotion, and that's what's called a trigger. And I think most people kind of know that. You've heard the word before.
Triggered.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So there's an opposite version of that. There is like something that you can see or hear that, in a sense, like triggers something in your brain, but instead of like negativity, it sort of like calms you, brings you more into like a presence of mind, like the good version of it. Does anyone know what that's called?
No.
Legitimately, and I looked it up to fact check it. That is called a glimmer.
What?
And he went on to explain that whether or not the staff like intended for that, he thinks that like Starlight very much sort of represents what in psychology is called a glimmer. She's sort of like the manifestation of that concept. She certainly is to us.
Indeed.
Anyways, that's my fact for the day. Come to the concert tonight.
I'll see you there.
We love you,
Thanks for having me.
See you later.
Bye.
And then there were just the three of us.
I love you.
We'll be waiting for you.
You didn't hear me.
He's off. So we talked about this one moment with Starlight and literally murdering Discord right in front of children. That's so wonderful.
He deserved every bit of that.
Because when they explain it later, it doesn't really hit you until later when he literally has to show up as a ghost once again. So that was the tip off to me that, oh, she didn't just teleport him away, she literally killed him.
That thing left a crater. You think she teleported him? Nah, she tried to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love her. It's great.
And I think goes on in the episode and saying like apparently he can come and go just fine and like no, apparently he didn't.
I want my wife to be able to kill God. I don't know about you. I don't know about all you out there.
Are we at the point that we can finally admit later season Discord was mid?
That's not my favorite.
That's in the Discord panel. That's in the other room later. That's in the Discord panel. Someone invent the Discord panel so he can go to it and discuss that. I'm not discussing that here. But
All it would be is how great John Delancey is as Discord so.
yeah.
Yes.
That's the only thing we can agree here.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic.
Yes.
But,
We're back on Glimmer.
But anyway, so I had a hypothesis seeing this, like, Twilight's off camera and she's watching this whole thing and she's sitting there going like, damn, why couldn't I do that to T-Rex?
Wow.
Man, Starlight's more powerful than me. I'm doing something wrong here.
I think we kind of established that.
There was an argument to be made
Twilight to a
about
standstill.
that. It's kind of spooky, but I like it.
Oh, you mean spoopy?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I kind of want to see how her power level matches up to like Celestia.
Well, here's the thing. With that, with her killing Discord, she has surpassed Twilight's destruction capability by fully destroying Discord, and it has and when Twilight was going up against Tyrek, she had all three Alicorn princesses at the time's powers.
Yeah.
So by process of that, Glimmer has some more magical capability than all of the princesses combined.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That is a fair point to be made in that in the season 5 finale, as we were pointing out there, she does pretty evenly match with Twilight without any of the other Alicorn princesses' magic. So there is an argument to be made that she's at least on the same level as Twilight.
Well, definitely.
Which is wild to me.
She changed the cutie marks of Celestia and Luna. And
That's
that has an enormous amount of magic.
Starlight messes around with gods, and that's kind of great.
More like screw around and find out.
Oh.
But we talk about, Starlight and Twilight's relationship, like post them fighting and everything. But if everybody remembers in the season 8 premiere,
I remember
the premiere, this is when Starlight becomes the total boss of Equestria, and I will explain here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that.
She becomes the total boss of Equestria.
How long you take to get tired of Pillow Fort pouting?
He doesn't know that line.
Cheer me up. I'm not gonna cheer you up. I'm gonna tell you what you did wrong. What? You gave up too easily. Hey, you made me a guidance counselor. That means tough love.
True.
School was a disaster. So was I when you met me. But you showed me that when you know in your heart something is right, you stand up for it. You did that for me. Why not for this? I can't go against the EEA.
Which costs us $1.2 billion to build.
Yes. Hey, that is an expensive Hasbro
How
toy
should
set.
that?
Stop me from doing your job.
Here goes the moment.
And nothing of value was lost.
Something important. You're right. Why we're doing this is way more important than how we're doing this, and we are doing this. Now that's the Twilight I know. How can I help? Wally?
And
So,
You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose, Taylor.
good closet power there.
Just kiss.
So Luckrock
We ship it.
Luckrock has talked about this at prior Glimmer panels that we've held, and I will bring it up for him as well. And that's such a that moment of Twilight being in this situation and being in these emotional depths, and Starlight being the one to come here and be the one to literally drown the rule book on this. I think in my head about that kind of moment, Starlight is the only character I could possibly see ever being bold enough to do that. And that's why she's so great. Is that it's that boldness and that, like I said, that bluntness. And that's, I can't think of any other characters that do that. Not even Applejack. No, Applejack would not do that. Pinky wouldn't. Rarity wouldn't. None of them would. It's a clearly.
And what we saw earlier, their own methods of doing their attempts of trying to do
Right, exactly.
It's because Starlight knows she could beat like Twilight in a fight.
Well, yeah, let's not beat
I like
around
that.
the bush.
I like that answer.
Even as a Twilight fan, let's not beat around the bush here.
We'll have a Twilight versus Starlight panel next year. We'll see how that goes. I'm not confirmed. That's up to luck. But yes, that is the definitive Starlight Glimmer moment.
I feel like the real battle is Starlight versus finale Twilight. Like that's the real matchup.
You have Ultra Instinct Twilight.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean season 4?
No, I mean like season 9 finale final form.
Giraffe neck Twilight.
Yeah, I don't like that. Not that.
Starlight.
We'll talk about that in
I
another.
feel like that's a more evenly matched.
Now, what would happen if Twilight faced off against toilet paper rolls?
Oh God.
What would happen?
You could say it would wipe the floor with this.
You can buy these from Sky Railroad in the vendor hall. Great guys.
Okay.
And my lovely roll. And again, we are on a roll here, folks. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
No, you should dab on that.
No! That's dead.
Assert the dominance.
It'll never die.
Egg roll gagging discount.
Composing.
You know, somebody could just walk in this room and see this still image of Twilight and Starlight. It's a very different panel.
What have we done?
I mean, they got no eyes on Twilight like that. Like, come on.
Well, listen, here's the disclaimer. Every time you try to pause an episode, you're going to get a weird image. It doesn't matter how much you try to avoid it, it's going to end up happening.
Or somebody will make it weird.
Especially,
Always fun for
People have already made it weird.
especially, Applejack's hat disappearing for one reason. Just magically just upped and disappeared and then reappeared the next minute.
The PvP guys find a lot of weird things.
And then we call it, in these days, misdirection.
Out of context.
Question for the table here.
Yeah.
I'm not taking over your panel, I promise.
This is a partnership panel.
Oh, okay, this is the union. If I may ask, here is a good debate question here. Do you think Starlight should or should not have been a princess?
Oh, I have big thoughts about this.
Okay. This is what I was looking for.
Here's how I imagine it happening. Let's just say Lester Dawn doesn't exist, and Starlight is Twilight's main pupil, right? I have a feeling it's gonna be like a similar scene like Celestia's ballad, but Starlight would deny it. She would say, "No, I don't want this," and then Twilight would be like, "What do you mean you don't want this? I didn't get a choice." And she was like, "No, I don't want this. I just want to stay a unicorn. You're a princess. I'm me." I have a feeling that is exactly how it would go. She would not want to be a princess. She would want to stay herself.
Yeah, I could see it. I think there's a fanfic with that.
It would have been an
That
amazing
exact
scene.
same.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
Starlight was already enough of a nervous mess being like the head mayor of the school. You want to put an entire kingdom under her rule? That'd be a lot of pressure. I don't think I'd want that either.
Yeah, especially after her last one went.
Yes.
Where do you stand on this, Taylor?
Well, I think Mitch Larson has done enough putting wings on ponies.
That's fair.
Larson!
Larceny.
Hey!
Go ahead, Taylor.
But okay, of course. But
Larceny.
I appreciate the show didn't turn her into an alicorn princess. I just don't think I think Twilight still was the main focus here, and I specifically say main focus.
Oh.
And, you know, I think Starlight was reformed as a villain as enough as it is. And, you know, her being made as a guidance counselor, I think was a good way to be like, hey, I was bad at one point, but now I'm really good, and now I want to teach ponies how not to be bad. And so I just didn't see her as a princess in any sort of mean. And I mean, I saw images like before the season 9 finale, and that kind of scared me like a little bit. And then I found out it was like fan artwork or something, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to kill the show. I don't have to kill the show curators.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, you believe everything that's on the internet. You can trust it.
Well, you know, it's hard to figure out what's real and what's not. And welcome to the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I'm glad they kept her the way she is. Made her head mayor of the school, and just kept her the precious way that she always is.
And ended up giving her a nice outfit for the finale.
If
Yes.
Starlight wanted to, she could probably go her own ways. Let's be real.
Yeah, indeed.
I say, yeah. Go ahead.
No, thought.
I was gonna add in my own point to that, where, yeah, I think where her arc ultimately needed to end, one way or another, is her being okay with leading again, because you obviously have season 5, end of season 5, where she's led this community to this, you know, this really brainwashed state, and then you have season 6, where she's invited back to her town, and she's like, I don't want to be around any of these people that I led, because I don't want to lead any of them again. That sounds terrible. Then through that season 6 finale, she learns, oh, I can lead people again. Then after that, ultimately where her arc ends with the series is she leads the next generation of ponies and creatures across Equestria, being head mayor of the School of Friendship. Obviously that becomes a little more complicated once you factor in G5. We won't go into that.
That's a discussion for another day.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that ultimately she doesn't need to be a princess. Would it be neat? Yeah, it'd be a neat piece of fan art or a neat plushie. But
There's one here. There's already one here.
Twilight a princess in the first place. Don't lie to me.
give her detachable wings.
Make her like Sunny Stars.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Sure. They appear.
She doesn't just give her the immortality of the alpha.
Yeah.
That would be a lonely life.
Fly rather well without
Yeah, she does it as
wings.
She could fly without wings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's got the teleportation spell nailed down pretty
And
nicely.
levitation spell.
Levitation, self-levitation.
So we talked about Starlight and Twilight and her other things, but I think the friendship that caught everybody off guard was her relationship with of all ponies, Trixie.
It did for me.
And that took everybody by surprise, and you know, even to me to this day, I was thinking, there's no way this character is going to be redeemable after what she was doing. But again,
Here we are.
I was proven wrong, and this clip here will justify that.
I bet Sethisto had a field day with this.
Like I said, she's got the teleportation spell.
She don't need no wings.
That's what happens when you enter a Brony convention.
No, now what happened when you were singing?
You're just singing along and then file hits. Every running convention, you know?
It sure beats the road to deliveries. Yeah, but sometimes traveling together is hard. You reminded us you can also make it fun. Thanks again.
But for some strange reason, I shed them.
Dad, they're dead now.
Hey, Todd. Hey, went over the wall.
They're dead now.
What are you two doing? Taking a stand by lying down.
Take a stand by not
Not
standing.
invested, despite your assistance, convenient appearance.
Trixie, I came back to apologize. I should never have traded away the wagon. It wasn't mine to trade. It belongs to my friend.
If you truly were friends, I suppose I'd be honored to reverse the trade.
Okay, fine. We're friends. That's
This made me, I'm not gonna lie, this made me cringe.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could prove your friendship.
How? So we could do our friendship chant.
Yeah, I don't
It's the greatest jam in the world. What are you talking about?
Oh God.
Brilliant.
I want two people to do that at a convention, at opening ceremony.
You would not pay me enough money.
I'll pay money.
I'll give that.
You two clearly making up as you went. But only true friends would be willing to act so ridiculous for one another.
That's fair. I'm sorry your Arabian tour was ruined. Honestly, I don't think I could have stood one more second on the road. At a certain point, I didn't feel like traveling with myself.
Oh.
It is a lot harder than I thought. Still, glad we tried. Mostly so we know not to do it again. I think it's made our friendship greater and more powerful than ever.
You know, there's actually plenty of room in here for one pony nap. Is the show over?
So kidnapping. Love it.
Yeah.
Can I
Good
just
job.
say, they're totally girlfriends, and I love it. Here for
That
it.
wouldn't surprise me. It's like,
When are we doing the Starlight and Trixie panel, Taylor?
Sunburst
That'll come.
I thought Sunburst was her.
Starburst.
Well, you know what, Adam? Since you brought that up,
I mean, yeah, nothing says they can't be a polycule.
We're just watching good television now. I love this channel.
Not only do I know, I watch it television.
I bet she's taking that into account too.
I don't want to win.
You can win.
Go away, ads.
No, we could sell you crypto, but we're not going to go that far.
Oh my god, man.
Like,
You? Oh, yep. Sure is.
Yeah, right.
No
That's the anthology channel. That's the go talk to Jay all
I'll
over
talk to
about
Jay,
that.
and I'll go Damon.
That's right, call your own then, right?
Spike's fans love to show
Yeah, baby.
He's not calling it. Okay.
Oh,
You're
okay.
Man, this is a weird Rift Ponies panel, man.
It is technically
Pretty
a
soon,
rim.
in like 5 years, we're gonna be riffing the worst episodes of Friendship is Magic.
Hey, I have that to look forward to, I guess.
And Gwen Vicker somehow enters and gets revenge on everybody.
Yes. And then we teach you how to
The
do
twist.
parties.
Yes.
some of the chairs.
Eat popcorn.
Did you get the lawn chairs?
It was magic.
Magic.
Oh,
That's me.
Yeah,
That's me in the back.
Oh, that horse is
Oh, come on, Spike. I want to hear about the games.
I want to know if that popcorn is like theater popcorn or it's like the rich kind.
Yes.
It's magic.
Not your popcorn.
It's literally magic because the level of popcorn hasn't gone down at all.
Well, now it's ground popcorn. So.
Hey, don't know like a,
It's
don't know like a popcorn.
Wait! What? Knocking on the door isn't the next thing on the list.
Oh my.
What?
Oh my Spike.
Yeah.
He's trying his best.
Yeah, no, again,
He saved this civilization. Cut him some slack.
And Sparkaroni is dooming all of eternity.
We're not here to talk about him.
Sparky would really help out in this situation.
Yeah, he just walks out.
There it is.
Excellent point.
Okay, Sparky.
Sorry. By the way, I'm the voice on this.
Almost like your whole future depends
Yeah, try pausing at that.
Oh, no,
The cat really wanted to skip that.
I'm remembering why I love this episode again. I just want you all to know.
This episode has grown a lot on me over time.
Silence makes the
Sunburst?
Forward.
I understood that reference.
You know, this has might have been crazy for a while, but I think I had this theory when I was younger that Sunburst was secretly Star Swirled and bearded.
There's probably fan fiction about that.
There's
And then the actual Star Swirl came back the very next season.
Different stuff. Right now, I'm sort of Twilight.
There's fanfics about everything, literally everything.
Friendship?
Yeah, that's actually kind of why I'm here. I mean, I know you're probably very busy.
What do you mean?
Well, I figured out the magic school you go on to the wizard work, but
Yes.
No, I mean, yeah.
Wizard. Really busy with lots of wizarding stuff.
I will, Sunburst, I will pay you to end this scene.
Also, I'm on visiting to become a wizard.
I guess that's that. Starlight, come on. We have to at least explain what Twilight wants.
Yeah. No, not me, like, can I please leave?
That's how precious she
She's
is.
so good.
The silence is deafening.
So,
How to begin a discussion at a convention.
I was gonna say, Saturday night at convention, man. Wild.
Yeah, there was about happening if you know.
I don't understand. Did something happen to you after I left for magic school?
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
I don't see what that has to do with
Oh boy.
Why would you even ask that? I mean, did
That's really spilling the tea.
Yeah, right there.
Again, analogy, go cut.
No, he's got glasses. He can protect himself.
Oh, yeah, he has
He's got the proper hardware. I was gonna say, so what particularly do we love about? So we've talked about Starlight and Trixie. How do we feel about Starlight and Sunburst?
Well, at first their relationship was kind of.
Okay, there's a flaw, so they like it. People
At
like
first,
it.
their relationship was kind of awkward, but as time goes on, I like the chemistry that they have.
When you have a situation like them where that Sunburst leaving essentially was the entire genesis of what led Starlight down her own path. That's there's so much depth to that, and that's what makes that first scene they interact. There's so many layers happening there, and I love. Not many shows would do that, and I love that. There's so much depth for My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. I feel like I'm making a point that was made in 2010, 2011 here. But it's true that there's so much depth in that writing. And even when you go back to earlier in this episode where Starlight kind of has what's essentially a panic attack over the thought of going back there and meeting with this person who caused her to go down this path, there's a lot of emotional depths to explore in that. And that's why I love her character, you know? And also, they're really adorable together, so that adds to.
You could say that they're adorable.
Ah, yes, it's true.
There's just two
So,
neurotic
what do
Yes.
you guys think about Starlight and Magpie? Because that's something I never get brought up. I think.
That's a hidden
Yeah.
gem discussion.
Oh, Taylor's got the puns.
That's a hidden gem discussion right there.
No, I like it. Dab on them again. There he goes.
It's my panel, so.
Yeah, he controls it. Yeah, Magpie, God, Starlight has so many friends, and I love, that's actually another aspect I love about her character, is that she is not, her closest friends are not the main six. She knows the main six and is friends with them distantly because Twilight is friends with them, and obviously she's very close with Twilight. But like you don't see her as often with them as you see her with Trixie or Sunburst or Maud, all these other people. So she's got her own friends, she's got her own path going on, she has her own stories and episodes going on near the end of the show. It really dispels that whole thing some people like to say about Starlight where she was a Mary Sue. She kind of completely negates that definition if you look it up. She screws up plenty, people give her flack for screwing up, and not all the main characters love her. If anything, they're kind of just friend of a friend. And they even tell her she messed up big time at the end of every little thing she does, where she literally brainwashes all of Twilight's friends. And they tell her, even after she apologizes, they go, no, that was really messed up, and it's gonna take a long time for us to forgive you. Which, if I were brainwashed by a friend, I would say that too. I don't know about you two. Maybe you would change because it's Starlight Glimmer. But that's what I would feel. So the fact that that depth is there and that there's those complications and her relationships are so different with the main characters compared to these other characters she meets along the way, that's really different, and I love that.
Yeah, I will have to agree with that on quite a number of levels. Paul, do you have any thoughts on that?
On the Maud Pie thing?
Yeah.
I think the scene in that episode where her and Maud meet with Pinky, with Starlight and Pinky, is amazing. Just her blunt honesty with Pinky is brilliant. It's brilliant. Just she's weird, but like she meant it in a good way, and I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's fascinating to see how many friendships she has went through, and Thoth brings up the every little thing she does episode. That was kind of when I started, you know, gelling with this character. Like, okay, I'm getting a vibe that this is going to be someone I could actually relate to, and here she is, like she's telling them what to do, what not to do, and you know, Applejack, for instance, like that she's doing the scrapbooking thing, and you know, like at a certain point that it goes so out of control, their characters are just doing things more to the max, and it's like, darn, I really screwed this up. Like I wasn't anticipating this. Now I have Applejack telling me the best of times and the worst of times at this point. And what the Apple family did and what they didn't do during the 1900s and the 1800s. I actually kind of wanted to know that, but then you have Pinkie Pie over here who's baking up more food than they can feed the entire country, if you really think about that. And then, you know, Twilight's walking in like, what in Equestria is going on here? I did not ask you to do this in any shape or fashion.
And it shows at that level, at that point in season 6, where Starlight just and they even display as much in the beginning of that episode, where she can do all of the magic ends of it and friendship magic, but she has trouble socializing still and still making friends, other than the ones she has. Then once you reach season 7, 8, 9, they add so many characters to her array that are in her friend group that aren't really even necessarily friends with the main 6. Like, you can tell Trixie still irritates the hell out of the main 6, and I kind of love that, because she's friends with Starlight, but that doesn't mean that she's friends with all of them. Twilight still clearly doesn't like her. Her tolerance,
we annoy Twilight. So.
But yeah, she doesn't have to have all the same friends that Twilight does. Twilight is just a friend and a mentor. And that's a lot of depth, and it adds a lot of really fun character interaction later on in the show.
Indeed.
So you have the episodes like you know, student council and all those in season 9, where Starlight is just running around in the woods with Maud, Trixie, Sunburst, and Mudbriar, and that's a neat episode with neat character interaction.
The Sheldon Cooper of the Pony fandom.
Yes, exactly. Right. So yeah, it's neat how she has her own friends that are entirely disconnected from the main cast, because it makes her a more interesting character that way.
And unfortunately, our time is starting to run dry here, but we will continue having these wonderful discussions about Starlight Glimmer and what makes her so wonderful and incredible.
There's a gal's town just down the hall, by the way.
Yes. But I want to give a special thank you to Cole, Luck and Thoth for joining me for this wonderful panel about all things Starlight Glimmer. I can't thank you guys enough for coming out and supporting this event, and especially Ciderfest as a whole. I hope you guys are having a good time this weekend. I hope to bring this back to more cons next year. If you want this back, please let the wonderful people at your cons know that, hey, you want Glimmer Nerds to talk about Starlight Glimmer again, and we got so much more to talk about this character that we couldn't fit in this 1 hour. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you for converting yourselves into the Glimmer Gang. Enjoy the rest of the convention. Thank you guys so much for coming.
And if I may add before you all leave, thank you, Taylor, for inviting us all and
Yes,
for being
big-
such a great figure in the community.
Big thank you.
It's a pleasure. Time to wrap it up.